Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bachelor Nation News. Fans, the golden sun was dipping below the horizon of a secluded Caribbean island, casting a fiery glow over the crystal clear waters. The final season of The Golden Bachelor had taken everyone by storm. And now, after months of roses, tears, and champagne, it had come down to the last 3 women. Excitement and tension were thicker than the tropical humidity. Mel Owens, the suave, silver-haired bachelor whose charm had captivated millions, stood at the cliffside mansion overlooking the ocean. Tonight was the season finale, a night of confessions, revelations, and choices that would change lives forever. His heart was pounding, but he hid it behind a calm smile, a smile that had made so many contestants swoon. The 3 finalists, Samantha, the sophisticated art curator with a secret past, Olivia, the adventurous travel blogger who had captured Mel's heart with her daring spirit, and Claire, the sweet, unexpectedly witty school teacher, were each moments away from the most nerve-wracking evening of their lives. "Ladies, tonight is the night you've been waiting for," Mel said, his voice steady yet tinged with emotion. "One of you will walk away with me, and one will leave with memories that might haunt you forever." Samantha's hand trembled slightly as she adjusted her sparkling emerald gown. She had been the dark horse, quietly collecting Mel's affection without drawing attention to herself. But she knew something the others didn't, a secret that could change everything tonight. Olivia, ever fearless, laughed nervously. "Well, I hope it's worth it," she said, her eyes glimmering with mischief. She had loved every moment of the ride, from spontaneous beach dates to midnight swims in the moonlit ocean. But she had noticed the lingering glances, the subtle smiles that Mel reserved for Samantha. Claire, calm and composed, practiced her breathing. She had played it honest and open, letting Mel see her vulnerabilities. She trusted her instincts, but she knew the competition was more than just about love. It was about strategy, timing, and secrets. As the women walked into the grand ballroom of the cliffside mansion, the dramatic theme music swelled. The room sparkled with chandeliers, golden accents, and a floor polished to perfection. A giant screen at the far end showed flashbacks of the season, tearful confessions, passionate kisses, and moments of betrayal that had shocked audiences. But tonight, nothing would prepare them or the viewers for the twists about to unfold. The first twist came before the roses. A mysterious letter arrived addressed to Mel. His hands shook slightly as he read it aloud. "Tonight, the choice you think is yours may no longer be. Secrets from the past are about to surface, and the heart you trust most may be the one that surprises you the most." The room went silent. Samantha's eyes widened. Olivia's confident smile faltered. Claire's calm facade cracked ever so slightly. Mel looked up, his mind racing. He had always trusted his heart, but what could this letter mean? Then the host, a familiar face who had guided countless bachelors before, stepped forward. "Mel," she said, her voice dropping to a whisper so only he could hear, "be ready. This season finale isn't going to be anything like anyone expects. Are you prepared for the truth?" Mel nodded, though his stomach churned. The first rose was offered to Samantha. Olivia's gasp echoed through the room. Samantha's eyes flickered with triumph and fear. Before the second rose could be handed, a shadow fell across the balcony doors. Everyone turned. A man, tall, imposing, and unfamiliar, entered the ballroom. Whispers erupted. Cameras swiveled. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but Mel, there's something you need to know about Samantha." The room froze. Samantha's smile faltered. Mel's brow furrowed. Olivia stepped forward, curiosity blazing. Claire stayed rooted, her instincts telling her to remain calm, but her heart pounded. "What do you mean?" Mel asked, his voice barely a whisper. The man reached into his coat and produced a small, weathered photo. It showed Samantha, years ago, with a man Mel didn't recognize. But the look in her eyes, the same sparkle Mel had fallen for, was unmistakable. She's hiding more than she's showing, and it's about to come out tonight. The room was suffocating. Cameras zoomed in on Samantha, whose calm composure now melted into visible panic. Olivia whispered to Claire, "This is unreal. I didn't see that coming." Mel felt his world shifting beneath him. The finale, he realized, wasn't just about choosing a rose. It was about uncovering truths, navigating betrayal, and deciding whether love could survive the ultimate test. And the night had only
Mel's hands
just
trembled
begun.
as he took the photo, his mind racing through every conversation, every laugh, every stolen glance he had shared with Samantha. Could he have missed something so significant? Samantha's eyes darted nervously around the room. "Mel, I can explain," she stammered, her voice barely audible over the murmurs of the crowd. "It's not what it looks like." The mysterious man, whose presence alone had sent a ripple of unease through the ballroom, took a step closer. "You have one chance to be honest. The truth won't stay hidden for long." Olivia's curiosity burned like wildfire. She leaned toward Claire and whispered, "This is insane. I didn't even know there was something to hide. Now I'm wondering if any of this was real." Claire, ever the steady anchor, shook her head subtly. "Stay calm. Watch. Listen. The truth will come out, and you'll see who really deserves the rose." Mel's gaze returned to Samantha. Her emerald gown seemed to shimmer in the chandelier light, almost mocking the tension in the room. For a moment, Mel wondered if she had been playing him all along, or if she truly had something to hide that was beyond her control. "Mel," Samantha finally said, her voice stronger now, I did have a past, one I never shared with anyone, but it's not about what I did. It's about who I am now, and I chose to be here with you." The man frowned, holding up another photo. This one showed Samantha shaking hands with a man who looked remarkably like— Mel paused, his long-lost college friend who had vanished years ago under mysterious circumstances. You see, there's more to her story, and it could change everything. The room erupted in whispers, gasps, and murmurs. Cameras flashed, capturing every reaction. Olivia crossed her arms, a frown forming on her face. Wow, I knew there was more to her story, but this is next level. Claire's mind raced. She felt the tension like an electric current running through the air. "Mel, you need to listen carefully. Don't let appearances fool you," she said quietly, stepping slightly forward. Mel's jaw tightened. "Samantha, is this true? Is this connected to my friend?" Samantha's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "Yes, Mel, but not in the way anyone thinks, I promise." Before Mel could respond, the host stepped in, her presence commanding attention. "Ladies, gentlemen, and viewers at home, tonight isn't just about roses. It's about revelations, truths, and choices that will shock you. And we're not done yet." Suddenly, the grand chandelier above the ballroom flickered and dimmed, plunging the room into semi-darkness. Gasps and nervous laughter erupted as candles lit along the walls, casting dramatic shadows. It was theatrical, but something in the air felt dangerous. Then an envelope dropped from the ceiling, landing at Mel's feet. He bent down, opening it slowly. Inside was a letter, written in elegant script. "The heart you think you know may not be the one you need. One rose will deceive, one will inspire, and one will change your life forever. Choose wisely." The tension was unbearable. Samantha, Olivia, and Claire exchanged looks that ranged from fear to defiance. No one knew who the letter referred to or if it was meant to manipulate. Mel inhaled deeply. He had to make a choice, but how could he when every instinct in his body screamed that nothing was as it seemed?
His heart tugged in 3 directions, each pulling him closer to a different truth. Then came the second shocking twist. The balcony doors burst open, and a helicopter descended on the mansion's lawn. A figure jumped out, landing gracefully in front of the 3 women. It was Mel's estranged daughter, Emily, someone the audience hadn't seen since the first episodes. The shock was immediate. Cameras zoomed in, gasps echoed like thunder. "Dad," Emily shouted, her voice trembling with emotion. "You need to know the truth about Samantha before you make a mistake you can't undo." Mel's heart stopped. Everything, the photos, the mysterious man, the letter, were all connected. And now his daughter was here, shaking the very foundation of the finale. Samantha's face paled. Olivia looked stunned. Claire's eyes narrowed, sensing that the climax of the night had finally arrived. Emily continued, her voice cracking with emotion. "She's not who you think she is, Dad, and if you choose her without knowing the full story, it could destroy everything." The room fell silent. Even the camera seemed to pause, capturing the raw intensity of the moment. Mel's mind raced. His heart, his instincts, his trust were all colliding in a storm of uncertainty. And just when he thought he could process it, the host smiled, her eyes glinting. "Ladies, gentlemen, and viewers at home, the choice is about to be made. But remember, tonight the truth will shock you, and nothing is as it seems." Mel looked at the 3 women, the photo, the letter, and his daughter standing before him. Every moment of the season, every laugh, every tear, every rose had led to this one point. He swallowed hard. Tonight, everything
Mel's gaze
would
shifted
change.
between the 3 women, his daughter, and the mysterious man. The air in the ballroom felt electric, as though every heartbeat echoed like a drum. He had always prided himself on following his heart, but tonight, logic, intuition, and emotion collided like crashing waves. "Mel," Samantha whispered, her voice trembling, "please, just let me explain. Everything you think you know." But before she could finish, Olivia stepped forward, her voice strong, tinged with defiance. "Mel, I've been honest with you from the start. Every adventure, every laugh, every tear, it's real. And no secret, no hidden past can change that." Claire, calm but firm, added, "Mel, listen carefully. Look at their actions, not just their words. Tonight is about more than roses. It's about trust." Emily, Mel's daughter, interrupted, her voice cracking with urgency. "Dad, you need to see the truth. Samantha's past, it's complicated, and if you choose her without knowing, it will break more than hearts. It could ruin lives." Mel's mind spun. Every instinct screamed conflicting directions. He turned back to Samantha, his eyes searching for honesty. "Samantha, tell me everything. No more hiding." Samantha took a deep breath, her emerald gown shimmering like liquid light under the chandelier. "Mel, the photos, the man, yes, it's my past. Years ago, I was involved with someone connected to you, though I didn't know it at the time. I never meant to deceive you. I came here for love, for us. Everything else is history, nothing more." The room erupted in whispers. Olivia's jaw tightened, Claire's brow furrowed. Even the cameras caught the raw intensity of the revelation. The mysterious man stepped closer. "She's telling part of the truth, but not all. Some details remain hidden. Tonight they must come out before the final rose is handed." The host raised her hands. "Ladies, gentlemen, and viewers at home, the moment has arrived. The final rose, Mal's ultimate choice, will be made tonight. But the path to love is never straightforward, and tonight, the unexpected awaits." Mel inhaled deeply. He looked at Samantha, Olivia, and Claire. Each woman had given him something unique: love, laughter, honesty, and trust, but only one could walk away with him. His pulse raced. He reached into the velvet box holding the roses. Before he could make his choice, another twist hit.
the helicopter's door opened again and a figure descended. Samantha's twin sister, Victoria, someone no one knew existed. Camera swiveled, the audience gasped. "Mel," Victoria said, her eyes locking on him, "you need to know the full truth about my sister. There's more at stake than you realize." Samantha gasped. Olivia stepped back, shocked. Claire's face remained composed, but her eyes reflected the disbelief of the moment. Mel felt like the ground beneath him had disappeared. Every revelation, every secret, every twist had converged into this single moment. His hand shook as he picked up a rose. The host's voice cut through the tension. "Mel, it's time. Choose wisely. Tonight, love, truth, and heartbreak collide." Mel's eyes locked on Samantha. Her emerald gaze held fear, hope, and desperation. Then he looked at Olivia, whose fiery spirit had challenged him in ways no one else had. And finally, Claire, calm, honest, unwavering. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting his heart decide. Memories of laughter, tears, adventures, and intimate confessions flashed before him. And then he made his choice. He opened his eyes, rose in hand. "The rose goes to—" Before he could finish, the ballroom lights flickered violently. A loud crash echoed from the balcony. The helicopter had been sabotaged. The crowd screamed. Smoke filled the room. Chaos erupted. Samantha screamed. Olivia shouted. Claire ducked. Mel's heart pounded as he tried to comprehend the chaos. But amidst the turmoil, one thing became terrifyingly clear. The finale would not be simple, and the true twist had yet to unfold. A figure emerged from the smoke, masked, shadowy, and determined. "No one leaves tonight without knowing the truth," the figure declared, their voice echoing like thunder. Mel's mind raced. His rose, his heart, his love, the season, the journey, it all hung by a fragile thread. And in that moment, he realized that love, trust, and destiny were about to collide in ways no one could have anticipated. The screen flashed dramatic text. "To be continued, shocking revelations
cleared
await."
slowly, revealing the masked figure standing at the center of the ballroom. The audience, contestants, crew, and cameras alike, held their breath. The figure's voice was firm, commanding attention. "You all think this is a love story," the stranger said. "But tonight, truths long buried will surface, and the choices made here will echo forever." Mel's hand tightened around the rose. His pulse pounded, his heart torn in 3 directions. Samantha, Olivia, and Claire stared at the figure, their expressions a mixture of fear, defiance, and curiosity. The masked figure pulled off their disguise, revealing Mel's old college friend James, the man from the photographs. Gasps filled the room. "James!" Mel shouted. How are you here?" James stepped forward. "Mel, I've been tracking Samantha. There are things you don't know, things that could destroy your happiness if you choose blindly." Samantha's face went pale. "Mel, I can explain everything. Please, just—" Olivia shook her head. "This is insane. Can we even trust anything right now?" Claire remained calm, watching intently, knowing that the moment of truth had arrived. James handed Mel a folder. Inside were documents, photos, and a series of letters. They told a story of Samantha's past connection to Mel's friend James, a web of coincidences, misunderstandings, and secrets she had never intended to reveal. The final letter, however, held the key. Samantha has loved truly and deeply. Her past choices do not define her, but knowing the truth is your right. Mel's mind raced. Every memory, every smile, every tear, the love he felt for Samantha, the bond with Olivia, the trust in Claire, it all collided at once. He turned to the women. I have to be honest, this has been the hardest decision of my life, but I know my heart, and I know who has stood by me, truthfully, through everything." Samantha stepped forward, trembling. "Mel,
Before she could continue, Olivia interrupted, tears in her eyes. Mel, if this is your heart, then go with it. Don't let the past, mine, hers, anyone's, steal your choice from you. Claire, serene and wise, added, Love is tested in ways we don't expect. Tonight, your heart will guide you. The camera zoomed in, the audience silent, every heartbeat amplified. Mel looked at the rose, then back at Samantha. He saw the fear, the hope, the vulnerability, and the truth in her eyes. He closed his eyes for a moment. Memories of their journey flooded his mind, the laughter, the adventures, the quiet moments of intimacy. And then he opened his eyes, rose in hand. The rose goes to... Samantha gasped. Olivia held her breath. Claire remained composed. To Samantha. Samantha's eyes widened, tears streaming down her face. She stepped forward, her hands trembling as she accepted the rose. Mel took her hands in his. Samantha, despite everything, despite the secrets, this is where my heart belongs. The audience erupted in cheers, the cameras capturing the emotion in every frame. Olivia smiled through her tears, gracefully bowing out. Claire nodded, a proud smile on her face, acknowledging the journey they had all shared. But just when everyone thought the night was over, the host looked at the camera with a sly smile. Golden Bachelor fans, remember this. The heart's journey is never simple, and the next chapter might be even more shocking. The screen faded to black. Text flashed, "The end," or is it?